getting to Santa Susana State Park, it's just slightly west of Topanga Canyon Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley, and it might be easiest to put in Oakwood Memorial Park into your GPS, and you'll find the trailhead not at the cemetery, but just about one driveway south of that. You'll find the trailhead for Santa Susana State Park, which has got several trails where you can spend hours walking around these hills of western San Fernando Valley. Off today hiking Santa Susana Park trails, and I think we're in search of the old Santa Susana Stagecoach Road.
Yep.
So my first time ever in this park. You've been here before, yeah?
With my dad.
Many years ago?
Many years ago, took us on a hike. It was one of the most memorable moments.
All right, so a little memory lane for you today, and a new park for me. This is one of the state parks in California too, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're off to explore in the hills. What did you find?
Old Stagecoach Road. And this is the trail that I took with my dad, and we hiked this all the way to Chatsworth Park when I was very young. Elementary school.
So we've been setting out on this hike trying to find the Stagecoach Trail, and it's been interesting because so far we've run into several forks in the road with markers for the Andorra Trail, markers for a waterfall trail, and other than at the initial trailhead where it said there was a trail for the old Stagecoach Road, there was no markers for it until we got to this point. So we've been hiking, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But finally found a trail marker, so that's encouraging. So we are now going to make it up.
With the help of some fellow hikers.
Yeah.
Here we go. I love this. Thank you, honey.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've made it a little further up, and now we're at a fork in the road that's completely unmarked, no trail marker, so we're doing the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Julie's selecting a direction for us, so which is kind of the straight path on the trail that we were on, though there's another one over here that looks possible. So sometimes you just have to make a choice, and which is what we're doing. And after all of this is said and done, we just hope we're going to be able to find our way back to the car at the end of the day.
That's my soul.
Hey, look what you found.
Yay.
You've been upset for an hour because you thought you didn't have that. So we found the trail marker for the old Stagecoach Road and your chapstick.
Yay.
All right. Is this day getting better or what, Julie?
Yes, it's getting better.
Yes. Because it didn't start out so good.
Oh.
That's another story. And I suppose a day can always get a little better when you do a little hiking, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And off we go.
Makes the stresses of life kind of ease a little bit. So this reads that this is the old Stagecoach Road from 1859 to 1890, and it's marked March 17th, 1939. So that's pretty cool that they've kept in history in our little area here, our rural area, such an important part of travel back in the 1800s.
Yeah, so my understanding is in the mid-1800s, this is the road that the the mail would have made its way from the San Fernando Valley out into Simi by way of the Stagecoach Stage Road.
So we passed a gentleman, and I had actually heard this story before, that at this point, he called it Devil's Drop. And they would actually make everybody get out of the stagecoach for fear that it would fall down the side because the road was so narrow and so treacherous. And they would have to, passengers would have to walk this area. The driver, the stagecoach driver, and the horses, obviously pulled it across. He said they had to blindfold the horses because it was so frightening for the horses and they could bolt and you'd have a bad accident. So when I took this hike as a little girl, my dad pointed out these tracks from these stagecoaches that is within the sandstone. And you can, most of the places you really can't see them, but we have definitely found a set across this sandstone here. So if you look, you've got this divot here and then a divot here, which is where the stagecoach routinely made their travel, causing these marks in the stone. Just like this. There it goes.
And today we have the 118 freeway, which makes the travel
A little bit easier.
a little easier, and planes for FedEx.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, this is how they got the mail to people.
Yeah, and people from one city to another. There would actually be people traveling from the valley, which was populated more than Simi Valley, and they would travel across this incredible, stagecoach journey. For them was normal, but it's pretty incredible to think about.
So we made it to the top of a hill climb, and we're at an area marked at the Lilac Lane Trailhead. You've got a small bathroom facility up here. And just beyond us in the distance, you can start to see the Simi Valley. So we're gonna check out to see if the trail continues further beyond the hill where we can get a better view of our home. And we're at the Santa Susana State Historic Park. And as the sign says, you've got archaeological resources in this area, so whenever hiking, camping, always be a good steward and leave things untouched. Do not destroy and tamper, so everybody else can enjoy what you see. Alright, so made it to the top of this hill.
Not yet, there's still more.
A little more. So catching our breath, but in the distance we got a view of the Simi Valley with the 118 freeway making its way that you might be able to see on the right hand side of the video frame. And it's a nice place that we call home.
Simi Valley. I was born in Van Nuys, but that's because they didn't have a hospital there. I was raised there all but 2 years of my life. So here, the place I circled here is the footprint of a big cat. You can see the back of the paw here and then the toes. It's very spread out. So we have big cats in this area. And we know that because it's documented. They tag them so they know where they're at. But we have one that crossed the trail right here.
Yep. And I also know with the Corriganville Park, which is not too far away from here, close by it, they ended up building some underpass under, I don't know, was it the freeway or some of the roads, specifically so that the wildcats have a way to traverse their habitat.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is one of the places in which they come. All right, we're being very quiet because we've stumbled across a family of quail in the bushes. So we've stopped to take a peek. You're not going to be able to see them in the video, but we first stumbled across their tracks, and they're just making their way in the bushes.
Yeah, I can hear them too. See? Those are all little quail tracks.
Quail tracks.
I see them. They're in the bushes here. Come back that way. Here.
It's nice when you come out just a few minutes away from the city and you get into these hills and you just have nature, wildlife, their home. It's a little different world for a couple of hours. What'd you find?
I'm not sure. I'm guessing it was used for water. This could have been something on a ranch or a home that used to be here. It's unusual.
Saw this from the side of the trail, hole in the ground, caught our eye, so decided to come take a peek.
It's man-made. Remnants of ranch life, because this was all ranch farms once upon a time. I don't see anything that says the maker.
What it used to be.
Engine Pharaoh, one Pharaoh. Somebody put that in. Wow. What were you, old car? Old truck.
Hello, AAA? I've got a problem.
I just want to know what it was. Who's the maker?
Who were you?
Who were you?
It's almost fitting when you go on these old western hiking trails to find some remnant like this.
Yeah.
Off the
You
side.
usually see something. Well, even on these local small hikes, I kind of am walking and I'm thinking, oh, I should have brought. And one of the things was a gator because it's windy. And the wind gets cut quite nicely and it's very breathable. So gators are really nice to have. So I should have brought that. A handkerchief would even work, like one of those country-looking handkerchiefs, whatever you want to choose. Jacket it's California, the weather's nice, but you get higher and if the wind's blowing, it's quite cool. So make sure you bring a jacket. You can all put it in a handy dandy backpack. Food, even if it's just a snack, definitely water. Hiking boots really help, and our lovely cooking bowl has kept me from falling many times. Black diamond. We've had these for years. So they're really nice.
Yeah, for me, the trekking poles have made a world of difference since we first started using them, probably about 8 years ago, roughly or so. And we pretty much hardly ever go hiking without them anymore. So they've become our essential traveling items.
And this is not for people. This is for animals. So if you run across an animal and the animal gets aggressive, this is a nice thing to have.
What is it?
Pepper spray. It's my pink pepper spray. And chapstick.
Oh.
Gotta have chapstick.
And while we're talking about gear, if you visit our website, theplaceswherewego.com, and go to the top right where the tabs are, click on gear. We list a number of items that we have found helpful in our travels, in hiking, and you may find something there that will help you out. And if you do, we'd ask you to make that selection from the website. The price will be the exact same thing to you through Amazon, but we may walk away with a nickel or a dime. So we would appreciate
Every bit helps.
Everything helps.
If you're a fan of Western movies, you may have seen this landscape in movies and shows such as The Lone Ranger, The Roy Rogers Show, and Bonanza episodes.
This property was declared a state historical park in 1998. You'll find many hiking trails throughout nearly 680 acres between Chatsworth and Simi Valley.
A highlight here is the old Santa Susana Stage Road, which is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's a piece of California history that you can visit in Santa Susana Pass State Historic Park.
Thanks for watching us on The Places Where We Go.